What's up, everybody? It's your main fish, Lord Fishy Fish, all up in your fishy grills with another bathroom tut. Gonna do the bathtub. We didn't really get finished that yesterday, but I didn't save it after I was done, so I'll probably do everything over again. But we'll start with the bathtub in case that's all you need, and then if we got time, we'll do like a fancier toilet that makes a bit more sense. That one will do definitely for whatever you're using it for, but it's always good to have a variety as well. So I changed this to local, and I'm going to change unit size to 0.1. Alright. We'll do this unit to 0.1. You don't have to do that, but that's just what I'm going to do because I use Unreal, and I don't know what you use, but it's going to depend on that probably if you want to do it with me. Something like this. We'll do a little bit lower and a bit wider to make it more of a bathtub shape. So we've got a general bathtub shape. We'll start working on it to make it a little nicer now. Okay. Let's think about this and make sure we do it the right way. So I'm just going to shift D outside edit mode first off to start. Okay. Probably going to S this one down a little bit because this is going to be our cutout on the inside. Not exactly sure what's best to start, but I think shaping this first would be best. So I'm going to go to edit mode, and I'm going to go to edges, and select all the edges that I want to be curved. Probably don't want the bottom edges to be curved, so I'm going to leave them flat. Okay. Should be like that. I think that's good. Control B. Now we're going to have to redo this, but let's add some bevels. We'll go to 6, because I like 6. You do as many as you like. Make it yours. You want to do more, make it fancier, go ahead. That's perfectly fine. You want to do less and make it less fancy? Perfectly fine. Maybe I'll be careful on this edge. I don't want to go too much. Just want to kind of give it a nice smooth look. Alright. Now we'll grab the second one and we'll just go to edit mode and control B. We probably should have left the top flat, but we'll just make it extra wide. Okay. This is a shape we're going to be punching out of our tub. So just have a look at it. Make sure it's the way you want it. Make sure the gaps at the ends of the tubs are right. The sides of the tubs. So it looks like I want my sides just to be a bit bigger. So I'm going to do that. But again, you do you. Make it how you're going to want it. Try to imagine what that shape's going to look like cut out of the inside. We'll go ahead and cut it out. Okay. Whoa, that's a really nice bathtub, you guys are thinking, I'm sure. It looks pretty decent. It could be a bit more rounder at the bottom. But I honestly think that's probably what I want. It's pretty good for me. Another way to do that is to make it super skinny, and then when I stretch it, it would make that more curved. But I think I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. I think that's about what I wanted. Pretty flat on the bottom, but it rounds off on the edges. Alright, so we'll go ahead and make some attachments for our bathtub. Cylinder. And it should be right in the middle still, so we're just gonna bring this up. Shrink it down. Shift D it. Bring it up. Flip it. Something like this. And we'll move that in. We're going to have to make something that has basically a spout coming out of it for our water to be flowing out of. And we'll come up with a clever way to do that. Maybe we'll use a different piece than that, though. How do we want to do our taps? Okay, maybe let's just add a second piece here. And again, sorry, I don't know exactly what to do. I always just kind of do it on the fly. When I try to plan things out, they usually go awry. I figure it's better to just kind of free fly it, because then I forget the steps I'm supposed to do to get those exact steps. So I'd rather just figure it out with you guys, and hopefully you're learning something along the way. I know I'm always learning. When you stop learning, that means you're probably dead. Alright, so I'm just going to make a like a backboard type thing. Maybe I'll put it here, and we'll make it make sense a little bit more by stretching it. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll put a shower attachment at the same time. Maybe we'll make a part of the tub. Maybe you want to make it a bit different. You just go ahead and do you. Maybe you want to do your attachments right into the tub for you don't need a back plate for it. That's perfectly fine. We'll still get you to where you need to be. But what will I do? What will I do? So I will do 90 here. We'll go up here. Okay. And we're going to plug into here. And then we're going to Shift D. Pull this out. We're going to make this one smaller. And then we're going to make it bigger. And then we're going to make it smaller. Okay. Let's grab that again. And we'll go to faces, guys. Alright, we got this. Don't worry. This will be nice and easy. Just going to do that. And then we're just going to do this. Okay. Now hopefully that looks alright to you. You can see it just kind of gives it a bit of a tapered look. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to S shrink it down, and we're going to take it back, bump it in. Something like this, maybe as close as you can to just attached. And then, let's just take a little thinkaroo about this one. Yep, okay. Shift A, make a cube. Yeah, right. You guys getting the idea, I think. We're going to take this one, we're going to Control B the whole thing. And what do we want? Something like that. Should we make it a right circle? I'm just going to take the edges off of the top of this one, for it's not rounded on this top side. And we'll get mostly a circle. Okay. Alright. I should have did it the opposite. I wasn't thinking though. Just do 180 here. And then we'll shrink that down. Bring it up a little bit. Move it out a little bit. Maybe you want it flat on both sides. I think this is a pretty good look for us. Maybe we'll flatten it a bit more. It's not so, doesn't look like it has a helmet on so much. There we go, that's a bit better. Something like this, okay. I'm going to Shift D this again. I'm just going to drag it off to the side. And then I'm going to go like this, okay. And this is going to be our water controller. And it would just, you would just set it to what heat gauge you want. If you want to make a template for that back piece, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to. It's just a handle to turn it. Not the way that all showers operate, but the way we're going to do this one today. Okay. Hopefully you like it. I'll go ahead and Control J it together. We'll grab that piece and attach it to this back piece with Control J. Okay. So there's our water to turn it on and off. Now we need some sort of spout to drop the water into our bathtub. I almost said the tank, but I don't think it's a tank. So we'll go ahead, we'll make a square again. I should have reused it, but I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do this either. We're just figure it out together, guys. Maybe I'll make a cylinder too. It probably makes more sense in this case. Probably usually does, but I use squares anyways. Should have named myself Lord Square Man or something, but I didn't realize I liked these shapes so much until I started doing Blender. Yeah, definitely cylinder makes the most sense here, so I would go with cylinder. Something like that. Let's make sure we're not going to bump our other stuff, so that's probably a good height. Now we'll take that one to edit, Control B it. Might help if you can see it. Go ahead and move it to you where you can see it if you want to. I'm going to shrink it way down. Okay. Something like this. And then I'm going to stretch it out. Something like that. And then I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. And we're going to do do something like this. Hopefully that's okay with you. Hopefully that's an okay look with you. If it's not, you're going to have to find something that's more appropriate for the look you're going for. I think it's going to work for the look I'm going for. I'll steal this shape again. Just make it look a little bit better by giving it just a tiny faucet shape at the end here, like this. Okay, and then just have a good look at it. Make sure it's right at the end, because it's going to look better the closer to the end it is. Okay. Maybe you want this a bit flatter and not so round. That's fine too. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll make that one over. That one's just too round. Shift A. And we won't lean so hard on the corner, so we'll go to edit mode, we'll control B, and we'll just do that a little more. Okay? But it's just a softened square at this point. It's not that hard on the corners. We'll see if that looks a little better. It's going to be a lot of this, guys, when you're doing your stuff, of just trying one thing, finding out maybe it's not exactly what you're looking for and you need to change it. Just always be willing to change on the fly and just make do with what you got and make it work. That's what I always say. I do think this is going to look a lot better, though. Just looks a little more manufactured, I guess. And that's probably the look we're going for. Make sure that's in there. And maybe I'll shrink this. It's not so weirdly long. Something like that. I think we're right in there. Something like this. So we'll attach these to that, Control J. And now if you want to move it up or down, maybe we'll go down a little bit like this. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Probably something like that. And you probably didn't have to make the one pipe that long, but that way if you want to adjust it or you want to make it a bit different or reuse this piece for your kitchen sink or whatever, now it's there, it is available. We can set a hole in there, but I don't think we really need it. I'm going to shrink it a little bit. Probably look a bit better. There we go. I think we're more in proportion there. So I think we've made a pretty good looking tub. We can color it in a couple minutes, and but there won't be very much coloring, obviously. Well, maybe we'll do it right now. Let's just attach everything. Control J and Control J. Alright. I made the control part, the backboard back here. I figured it'd be easy. You're probably going to have to disattach this piece when you're done, because it will probably move if you're going to make a functioning shower, but just for now. And if you need to know how to disattach things, just L over the pieces you want. When you got them all, you push P and click selection. And you have to be in edit mode. As you can see, I'm in edit mode over here to be able to do it. Okay? I'm not going to do it because I want to color right now. And if you're going to do it, I would do it after you color. Okay? So our first color is going to basically be the full color of everything. So I'm just going to make it an off shade white. Just for coloring is a little bit easier to see. And this won't be our coloring game. It's just giving it a slot to be able to be colored. And I always got to say that because it's very confusing sometimes. Just a second, I got something in my eye. There we go. There we go. So just going to hit, make sure you're still in edit mode. Click off everything. You're going to hit L over here, L over here, L over here. Go plus, new. And then I'm going to make this one a bit gray just for now to represent like a steely type color. And then I'll color the things I need to be steel colored that color. Oh, and we forgot a drain on our tub. That's something else we're going to have to do. We'll do that real quick after. So L, L, okay. Got the gray already, so we'll just assign it. Maybe we will do L here too and also assign it. But then we will grab, oops. Go to faces and just grab that face, and we'll do a different color on that one. Just make it stand out a little bit, right? So maybe we'll just go bright yellow for now. Again, that won't be our in-game color, but it'll give it another slot so it's able to be colored. This needs to be colored to the gray, so we'll just select that. I missed that part. Alright, and we'll quickly give this a drain hole for our bathtub. So I switched out of edit mode. I'll push Control A. Go ahead and go to cylinder and pop it on in. Put her on down, shrink her on up. Oopsers. Alright. Gonna do one of these, make sure we go through all the way through the tub. Okay. Think we're good. And then we'll grab that one. And we'll object, bool, and difference. Okay. And we have a drain. Looks pretty good. If you want to put a little lip around that, I'm sure it'd be easy enough to do. But I think that's going to be good enough for our bathtub today. And if you want to add extra colors, you want to make your tub, your backsplash an extra color, just make sure to do it in edit mode. And we'll make our backsplash an extra color, just to have it something different in case we want it to be different. And we could always make it the same once we're in game. It doesn't really matter, but I should push L over the whole thing. My bad. There you go. Yeah, you want to push L over it to make sure you color it all the way through and everything. Well, looks pretty good. Obviously, those won't be our in-game colors, but definitely do for now, right? Alright, so we will scoot this off to the side, and maybe we'll try quickly to make a better toilet and maybe a better sink. We'll see. I had an idea of how to make a better toilet as soon as I was done making the other one. I thought, well, this would probably have been a better way, but sometimes you gotta kind of make it and go through that first and then kind of think after. But anywho, so maybe we'll shift D this before we start. I just made a new cylinder. And then I'll take this one into edit mode and let's just give them a gap, sorry. Yeah. And we'll grab just these edges again. And we're just going to make the classic oval shape we made before. There you go, simply a classic oval shape. Okay, so together I'm going to together I'm going to shrink these a bit. I'm going to use the one piece on the back half of it to give us just an extra little lip. Something like that. Okay, and move this right in there. And what we're going to do is shrink it. And this is going to be where the tank sits on this time, so we're just going to give it a little bit of a lip like this to give it somewhere flat that's not on the main part of the toilet for the tank to sit on, for all that stuff. And maybe just for a little bit of a better look, we could do something like this. Okay. And then we could probably, in edit mode, grab the whole thing, I suppose. Control B and see what this looks like. Something like that. Okay. And I think it looks pretty good. You could change it up a little bit if you don't like it. If you don't like the way I did it, you want to do like a flat edge or just a little block. Do whatever you need. I'm just giving you ideas, of course. And then we will probably go into edit mode on this one. Control R. Oops. Now we're on edit mode. Control R. And we'll put that one near the bottom again. And then we'll Control R again. Put it just above that one. Maybe somewhere around there. Okay. And we'll switch to faces. We'll blow this one out like we did last time. Maybe we'll grab the one above this time. See how that looks if we move that one a bit. Just make sure you're on edges. And follow it with control all the way around. When you have the whole thing, you can push S. And it'll just kind of help that curve a little bit, or it doesn't look so awkward. Well, it still looks pretty good back there. Make sure you're happy with it, okay? And we'll go ahead and make the rest of our toilet really quick. Maybe we will take this and that and just shrink them a little bit because I just don't think that they're this tall. Something like that, alright? That's better, I think. Then we'll Control A again. And the other half of the toilet's basically going to be the same how we made it before, but the positioning is going to be a bit different. Maybe we could think out the toilet seat a little bit better this time for it makes a bit more sense. So let's first take that up like that. And we want a flat top side, so we'll let go of these edges. Okay, and Control B. And basically a nice even square, I think. And then we'll change the shape of it to make it more of a bowl. Sorry, I bumped my mic there. And it's just got to be a little bit bigger. Something like this. Oh, we're going to have to move our piece on the back, I think. Because it's going to have to be level with this more, so right? Something like this, and then that maybe? Not exactly sure. I think we're around right. And I don't know about depth on this thing. Maybe about there. I'm no toilet expert. I should be, you'd assume, right? Everybody uses the bathroom, but I'm no expert at building toilets. Alright, so let's just move that lip up there like that. And once you got it nice and even, should look pretty good, right? Looks like we're a hair out of place, but you get the idea. And it's just to give our toilet somewhere to sit on the back, basically. So make sure it's in a good spot for you. Okay, so we'll take this piece again, and we will Shift D it, like so, and then we will just move it a little bit up and hit S until we were happy with the gap of the size. Something like that. Gonna have to kind of decide on your own what you think looks good. When you're happy with the size, move it just a hair forward, and we'll bool it out from the other shape. Okay, looks pretty good to me. Hopefully it looks pretty good to you. So this piece is kind of cutting through the back half of it. So what I'm just going to do to fix it up and just make it make a bit more sense, we'll just do that. And bump it up, and we'll bump it back. And now it's just connected to this piece instead. Okay? I think that actually looks a bit better anyways, makes a bit more sense. So hopefully that's alright for you. We're going to take this piece now, we're going to Shift D it, we're going to S it way, way down, alright? And we're going to stretch it way, 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 way out. And then we're going to shrink it way down again. And then we're going to go to here and we're going to do a 180. Hopefully it's going to flip it in the right direction. It is indeed. Okay, so let's just switch back to our one shader so we can see this carefully when we do this. We're just going to bump this down until it's just poking through. I think that's it. Then we're going to go to Faces, and we're going to go S. Okay. And then we're going to Shift D that. And then we're going to click this one. We're going to bool that shape out of that one. Difference. Okay. Then we're going to take this one. And did we do the top or the bottom? Let's do the bottom and hope that's it. We're going to bool this shape out of this one. It looks like it. Looks like we went all the way through. Alright, so looking pretty good. So we might have to just take those two and just raise them up just a hair like that. Okay. That'll get rid of any flickering issues we're having with overlying text or textures and things like that. If you want to subdivide when we're done all this to make everything a little bit more even and your texturing a little bit more even, you can. but I'm probably going to make this porcelain, so it's going to be like a one shiny little texture. It shouldn't be too bad. But obviously everybody's after something a little different. Okay, we're going to do the back of the toilet a little different too. This time we're going to make it with a lid, just to be a little more precise. And to do something different, because we made our toilet yesterday without a lid. So we'll take the top edges off of it. Okay. Control B. Something like that. And then we'll just shape it. After we go to edit mode, we'll shape it, sorry. Don't shape it in edit mode because it'll move your axes around and it just makes it a little harder to control. And we want control of our design as much as possible, right? And as you can see this time, this piece pretty much lines up on the back half of that little piece we made. So it just makes it make a bit more sense what's holding the toilet up. And this time we don't have a lid here. So, how are we going to make a lid, you're thinking? I know how we'll make a lid. We'll Shift D this. We'll 180 it. And if this doesn't work, I apologize, but I think it will. And we'll do this. And we'll boost it up. Okay. And then we're going to S to make it a bit bigger. And then we're just going to make it a bit smaller. This way. So now it's just a little lid that goes on top. Now if you want to bool the shape out of the other part, just go as far as you can, then move back a little bit. Oops. Grab this piece, Shift D, grab this top piece, Object, Bool, Difference. Okay. Now you're has a hole out of it. See? Looking good. Perfect. And it actually sits in there. Now if you want the same for the bottom, just do this, move this one up, Shift D this one, S to shrink it down a little bit, move it up a bit, and we'll just bool that shape out of there, and you should have a fully hollowed out working toilet. It's a little more exact this time, a little more realistic. Okay. And yeah, looks pretty good, I'd say. One thing we're missing is a handle, easy enough to make. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. If you're making your own houses or something like this, I'm sure this will be pretty useful. You can S to shrink that down. And if any of these parts are too big, just kind of size them on their own and then match them back up. Wrong buttons. Control B. And we'll do that. But again, sometimes it's better if you don't have a plan in your head and you just start kind of making it, I find. But everybody's going to be different. Your learning style is going to be different and all that stuff. So tell me what you do. What is your process to come up with stuff? I'm kind of interested what other people do. Not because one's right or wrong, just because every way is right or wrong, you know. Depends. Like, any way could be right as long as it works. I'm just curious in general how you guys do it. Alright, I'm just going to make this in a handle shape. You do the same. Something like that. Plug it in. Pull it up near the top. Okay. I actually like this handle better than our last one, I think. So I'm just going to join everything together if I'm happy with its sizing. This seems a little bit big, so maybe I'll make it a bit shorter and then maybe I'll move it up if I have to. I don't think I'm going to have to though. I think that actually still works. So, just have a look in there, yeah. Grab that. Where do we want our control point to be, actually? Let's make it the base. So we'll grab everything all the way down to the base. And then we'll Control J. Make sure we can still move. And if you want a toilet seat, we're going to have to make it out of this piece. So go to Faces in Edit mode. And we'll grab that. And we'll Shift D it, and then we will P it, and we'll selection, we'll click off, we'll click and just have that clicked on. We'll move that up. Okay. If you want to make the inner ring bigger, you're going to have to go into edit mode. Okay. Grab on rings. We're just going to go like this and control left click, control left click, control left click. Never going too far. If you go too far, you'll lose your edge. Okay, make sure that one's not on because that's the wrong one. And then we're just going to hit S. Okay, until you're happy with your toilet seat. And then we will hit go A, and we'll hit Alt E, and we'll extrude faces along normal, and just move down until you're happy with the width. I'm going to go with that. It's pretty good for what I'm after. Maybe I want to go a little bit thicker. So I'll just, with my arrows on that one lower face, I'll just pull it out like that. Okay. And then if you want to, say, round the top, we can pretty easily. We will go to here, and we'll go to our edges again. Actually, let's start here, and that way we can grab that edge without having to pull it out. Okay, working pretty good, and good. And then we will control B it. Just giving our toilet just a little bit more style, guys. Alright, that looks like a really good toilet this time. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series, and I guess I could color it while we're finishing up here, eh? I guess that would make sense, just in case, but I think you guys get the idea, but we'll do it anyways. I'm just going to join those. And make sure you like and thumbs up all these videos, and I'll keep on making more, as long as everybody's enjoying them. So first one will be whitish, obviously. Maybe we'll just do a bit of darkness, just to give it some kind of color. Then there's only a few things that need colored. You can do your handle and your toilet seat the same color, or you can make them separate. In this case, I'll do them separate just to give us more variety when we bring it in the game. See that the more colors you add to things, it tends to make it look a bit nicer. Maybe we'll go a bit darker with that one, because you can hardly see the difference. Okay. Did I get those? Yeah, I guess I did. Alright. And then we'll do the seat right black. So 3 colors on this, not that bad, really fast. Like I said, if you're enjoying these, if you're getting something out of them, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And if you're interested, you can also... Oh, that didn't change the color. Why didn't that change the color? Oh, okay, I wasn't in the shader. If you're enjoying the series, you can always check out my game on Steam if you're interested. It's a pretty fun little game, and people seem to be really happy with it. You're welcome to give it a try if you like. Make sure you like, subscribe, and we're just going to do one last little thing here, guys. Just going to hit E. There you go. It's going to look a little bit better with that little tiny lip. Okay. So we'll come back next time, and I don't know, maybe we'll make more bathroom stuff. If you think there's something else that I'm missing, let me know. And if you think this is good enough and I should be moving on, you can let me know that too. I don't mind. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.